Well, hello, St. Columba. Thanks for joining us today. I'm April Zion, Parish Administrator, and I'm here with Kris, our new Liturgy and Music Director. Hi, Kris.
Hello.
With all the COVID craziness, we thought we would take the opportunity to record a little bit of Get to Know Kris today to share with you, so you all have the opportunity to get to know him a little bit better ahead of being able to meet him and gather in person. So we're just going to jump through some fun questions, let Kris do most of the talking today, and feel free to reach out to him if you want to follow up with anything or ask your own crazy questions. You can call the parish office and Kathy will get you in contact with him. All right, Kris, welcome.
Thanks.
We're so
Thank
glad
you.
you're here.
Thank you. I'm just really glad to be here.
Yay. Well, let's start it off with, tell us about your hometown.
Okay, so I grew up in a small town called Bridgman that nobody's heard of, about 15 miles north of the Indiana state line, right on Lake Michigan. Or as those of us from Michigan do, I grew up over here. About 2,500 people, although in the summertime we get a lot of tourists. So it's almost double in the summertime. I grew up 2 miles from the beach on Lake Michigan. It was really a great place to grow up. That's where I went to school and lived the first half of my life there. So
Great. Well, speaking of growing up, tell us a little bit of your family structure. How many kids were in your family and what number are you in the order?
So I have 2 siblings. They're both older. Well, they're going to not like it when I say this, but they're both significantly older. My sister is the oldest. My brother is the middle child. And I am the youngest by about 12 and a half years.
Wow.
So it's a little bit like being an only child and a little bit like having siblings. I'm really close to my family. We stay in touch and we stay in contact, and so they're very important to me. But we didn't have a lot of sibling rivalry because I was too young. It was like having 2 sets of parents. So.
Yeah. So you were the baby for everyone, huh?
I was the baby for everyone.
That's great.
Big surprise.
Can you share an interesting childhood hobby?
Oh my goodness gracious. I've always been interested in computers. And I've always been very good with anything that has wires, switches, buttons, screens, keyboards, or any other technical thing. It's just a knack that I have had from my youngest age. I mean, we were introduced to computers when I was in kindergarten. I remember in 2nd grade, the art teacher coming down in the morning before class began, grabbing me by the hand, leading me down to the computer lab and saying, I need this computer to show up on that screen over there. Make it happen. And so I said, oh yeah, okay, plug, channel 3. Remember we used to have to put our VCRs on channel 3. Channel 3, boom, and there it was, and everybody thought it was great. I was in 2nd grade, and so I did that all the way up to the end of high school, and it's still a hobby to me. I enjoy it as a hobby. I did it as a career. The best way to ruin a hobby is to make it a career. So now that I'm not doing it professionally, I enjoy doing it on my own time, and I have the world's best home network because it's all enterprise level equipment. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so that's a good one.
Yeah.
And there's more, but I don't want to bore the folks.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Tell us about the biggest challenge you faced growing up.
School. Easy. That's an easy answer. School. I have ADHD. I'll readily admit that. And though I'm intelligent, I struggle to stay on one task. And school requires you to stay on one task and to do it until it's completed. And the way that my brain works is I do a little on this task, and I do a little over here, then I do a little over here. And everything kind of gets done in parallel. And that doesn't work when you've got a whole bunch of homework to get done. I got A's on tests, I got zeros on homework, so I wound up with C's, and it was frustrating, but I made it through, so.
Well, thank goodness school is behind.
It's behind, at least for now. We're always learning, just not always in that formal educational setting. So.
Sure. What about the most interesting job you have had?
Well, so far it's this one. I up and left everything and moved here, and that's been pretty interesting.
In the middle of COVID,
in the middle of a pandemic, and everything else that's going on in the world. Has certainly been an interesting journey here. Been here for about 2 weeks now, and it continues to be interesting, but in a very good way.
All right, so what role has music played in your life and your faith journey?
Wow. Oh my. Well, this is going to be a long answer. My goodness gracious. I remember waking up in the morning when I must have been 3 or 4 years old, and just lying in bed and singing my favorite song at that time, which was "Great Things Happen When God Mixes With Us." Sang every word. So music has always been a part of my life, and it's always been a large part of what informs my faith. It's music is where I find my personal connection with the Lord, and that's from the youngest age I can remember.
That's beautiful. Music and God have been with you the whole time.
Yeah.
All right, so why St. Columba or Durango, or which one was the driving factor?
Well, the driving factor was St. Columba. I always like to check out a parish before I apply for a job. And one of the advantages, and we don't talk about there are a few advantages of this COVID time, was that I was able to go to Mass here.
Yes.
And check out what was going on and see how you guys did things and how things operated here before I ever even applied. And just being able to do that was really great. I could tell that there was a spirit of community and a spirit of togetherness here, and I wanted to be part of that. The other side of it was I've been living about 30 miles south of Detroit for the last 4 years. And I got really tired of the traffic because there's always traffic, and there's no rush hour. It's just always there. And it's a little nicer here with that. You
yes.
know? You got a couple of stoplights, but that's not a big deal. So
nothing in comparison, I'm sure.
Exactly.
All right, favorite Christian song?
Oh, how do you narrow it down to one? My goodness.
In the top 5.
Okay, so there's so many. I'm just gonna have to throw a bunch of them out there. It's just the way it's gonna be. "Center of My Life" by Paul Inwood, wonderful piece. I know it's hokey, I know it's silly, but I love "They'll Know We Are Christians by Our Love." And yeah, it's a product of the 60s. And the folk music that was going on then, but it just embodies what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably my number one.
Excellent, that's a good one. All right, favorite song to sing in the car when the windows are up and nobody else is listening?
I'm planning to move to Colorado. I've been listening to a lot of John Denver.
All right.
But I would say the song that comes on the radio and I just gotta crank it up and sing along, it's gotta be, oh my goodness, like every single song I know I do that too, but anything by the Beatles. You gotta love "Hey Jude," especially about the 35th "Na Na Na Na." It's fantastic. Everybody loves to sing along with that. My go-to song for karaoke, which is not the question you asked.
No, this is even better.
But my go-to song for karaoke is "Truckin' by the Grateful Dead."
Oh.
Because when you get into those triplets, it sounds really impressive, even though it's not that hard.
Well, that was good. That was 3 different ones.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, are you a savory or a sweet guy?
I'm a sweet guy, but I like my grits savory. I like my oatmeal sweet. But I'm
Alright.
definitely a sweet guy. Brownies, cookies, candy, definitely, as you can tell by my physique.
All the sweets. Okay. What about cat or dog person?
Oh, I'm a dog person.
Oh,
Definitely
you're
a dog
fit
person.
right in here.
I'm not anti-cat, but I'm definitely very pro-dog.
All
So
right.
cats are okay, but they do this, and it just freaks me out.
Okay. Favorite activity or hobby to do on your days off?
Sleep. Yeah, sleep. I've been getting out. Last week I got out and did a little hiking around. Nothing heavy, just some light trails. That was a lot of fun. I love to go camping. Just to be, I'm one of those weird people at camping by myself. Just to be in the quiet and the nature and just to unwind, and you turn the phone off and you just, it's like meditation embodied for me.
Oh, excellent. Yes. You're going to like it here for
Yes,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
yet another good reason to move to Durango.
Yes.
So
Okay. One thing you would like everyone in the parish to know about you.
One thing? I'm gonna give you one that's gonna be a little strange. So, I don't have a lazy eye. I have something called Duane's syndrome, and it's an optic nerve issue. I only see out of essentially one eye at a time. So I'm looking at you with my right eye, and now I'm looking at you with my left eye, and now I'm looking at you with my right eye again. And this eye is now like peripheral vision. It's about 1 in 100,000 people have it. It's very rare. All the eye doctors go gaga over me. Like they say, oh, it's something you read in the textbook, but you never see. So now you don't have to ask, or you don't have to wonder, because I've answered that question.
You
Because
sure have.
everybody wants to know. So.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing with
Yeah.
us. I hope all of you at home will, when you get the chance to meet Kris, share something about yourself with him. Tell him your cat or dog pro politics, or your savory or sweet debate. You can have that with Kris. Sing with him. Come worship with us and get to meet him.
Tell me your favorite karaoke song.
Favorite karaoke song. Next time you see Kris, he's going to remember all of them, I'm sure.
I'll try.
Well, welcome again, Kris. Thank you. And we look forward to getting to know you better over the coming years.
Thank you, April. I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody.
All right.
It's going to be great.